Hey YouTube, welcome back to Wise Guys Garage. In today's video, we're going to be working back on the 2008 Toyota Camry with the V6 and a manual transmission swap. But in today's video, we're going to be going over a little bit more on the mounting situation on this thing. And we also have to do some maintenance, so let's get started. So the few things that we had to get done on the car involves the sway bar links as well as the top torque strut mount. The sway bar links themselves were not in great condition. They were all completely blown out and they were making a whole bunch of clunking noises. So it was due. I mean, the suspension on this car's got well over 200,000 miles on it, and I don't think they've ever been replaced. Okay, now that one's not really that good. Yeah, that's all blown up. So the point of this video is not actually to go over the maintenance items that we needed to get done, but since we were already in there, I wanted to go ahead and make a follow-up video on the mounting situation with the manual transmission swap and the 2GR in this platform, because my most recent video I made on it, there was a lot of questions on this stuff specifically. Just gonna force that guy out of there real quick. This is the torque mount you're supposed to use when we do the manual transmission swap. It's actually out of a 4-cylinder Camry. We got to replace this one because I don't know if it'll show up well on camera, but you can see right there, it's completely split. So we're gonna go to AutoZone, get this guy swapped out. We'll be right back.
2 hours later.
Alright, so we got the new sway bar links and whatnot. These are the ones with the lock washers on them. So a quick little trick is if you rotate it backwards, that's all tight. There we go. And since we're underneath the car and we're in the wheel well on the right side, you can go ahead and look at the trans mount. So that's that little plate that I was talking about in the previous video. And right here is the actual transmission mount. And this is just from a 4-cylinder Camry. Actually, my daily driver that had about 300,000 miles on it. And the mount's still mint. So don't ever have to think that you have to replace these things because they pretty much last forever. So this is what the mount looks like underneath the car. You have the 2 bolts on the back side here, 2 in the front, and then that goes into the transmission mount you can see on the side. Then it's running just the stock U660 CV axle, and that's what that looks like in there. Don't mind the oil leak. We got to get this fixed, but I'm pretty sure it's coming from the rear main seal on the engine because we didn't put enough threaded locker when we put on the flywheel. But so once we get the rear main seal fixed, the next time we got to do the clutch, we'll just go ahead and retighten in those bolts, change out the actual gasket, and make sure we put in a bunch of thread locker so this doesn't happen again. So again, on the passenger side here, this is the stock U660E CV axle. You can use the original carrier bearing that comes in with the 2GR and the Toyota Camry, so you don't have to worry about replacing that. And the only thing with this axle, you can kind of see it right there with the little diff cover on there, that's just prevent like dust and whatnot to come into the axle. It's just to cover the actual rubber part of the gasket. That just sticks out just a little bit. If you wanted to, you could slide it up to it. But personally, since it's not really that big of a deal on this car, we just leave it be. And it doesn't seem to affect it much. Then it runs across and goes into this wheel right here. And everything on that side is completely stock. Exhaust manifolds and everything all clear because it's pretty much in the stock locations. You don't have to worry about swapping any of that stuff out. So that's a huge plus. And now that we can see the front mount situation, that little bracket that you can picture there is from a 2AZ Camry or the 4-cylinder model. And the same thing for the front mount there. That is also from a 2AZ Camry. You just bolt those guys in place of the V6 version. Don't mind the zip tie, that's just holding up the little splash shield. And you're pretty much good to go. So if you guys are actually looking for a cold air intake for the Toyota Camry V6, unfortunately they don't sell it for Camry anymore, but they sell it for a Toyota Venza. So if you have a 2GR and you're looking for a cold air intake, just type in one for a Toyota Venza. Since the engine bay layout is identical, you can bolt that in and it'll work just fine. So now I got all that stuff out of the way for you guys. Let's go ahead and slap these wheels in the car. Since I'm in the car, quick little update on the MR2. I got the interior pretty much put back together. I had to take this clock out because I had to fix the face, but now that it's all working, that's all good to go. But I'm supposed to get a video done on this guy pretty soon. I'm really only waiting to save up for the rack and pinion, because that's what the next video is going to be on. And I just need to get insurance on this thing, and then she'll be good to go. Now we got all that suspension stuff done. Let's go for a quick little ride. Well, quick little lap around the block. No clunks. Can't beat that. Alrighty guys, so that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this week's video. I just wanted to do a quick little update on the car because honestly, last time I put out a video on this thing, it did really well, and I got a lot of questions for it and what the mounts and everything look like. So now that you guys have a little bit better of an idea that I showed you when I got underneath the car, I hope that helps you all along the way when you actually go out and do the swap yourself. We just had to do a couple quick things on the thing maintenance wise. It was actually pretty quick. It was just the sway bar links because they were all worn out. And if you have any more questions or anything, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I'll get to them as soon as I can. And make sure you guys like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. And I hope to see you in next week's video.